So I was just scrolling through TikTok, as you do, and once in a while an interview will come up. I don't know who the guy was. He seemed like an important guy, but I didn't care enough to get his name or anything. But they were talking about unemployment and jobs and job security and all that crap. And the guy, it was weird because he goes, "We need unemployment to rise." And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He goes, "We need unemployment to rise because people are getting way too comfortable at leaving their job. People have the assumption that they don't need their employers, that their employers need them." And I'm thinking to myself, okay, how long have you been rich? And then he went on to say that the reason unemployment needs to rise is because the average worker needs to realize that your employer does not need you and that you need your employer. And that's why unemployment needs to rise. You are just way too spoiled. What? I'm only guessing he's rich because he's talking like a friggin' CEO who's lost a lot of employees recently. So, this has been stuck in my mind all day. I've just got home from work. And the reason it's been stuck in my mind is because it seems like it's the main topic now. Unemployment needs to rise because people are getting way too spoiled. People are leaving their jobs thinking that they can do better because they can. They can do better. Whenever an employer or boss or manager or CEO or whatever treats their employees like crap, there's always another job that does better than that. Okay? There might be bullshit in other areas of the field, but what else is new? Every job has its bullshit, but not every employer treats their employees the same. You will find greener grass eventually. It was kind of funny because shortly after that, I saw a TikTok where somebody was interviewing Oprah. Yeah, you know Oprah because she's been all over the goddamn TikTok. Somebody asked her, why do you think people are sad? Why do you think people are depressed? Why do you think people are unhappy with life? I don't exactly know how they asked it, but I'm giving you a paraphrased version. And she goes, "I think people are on social media too much." Okay, that's an average answer for everybody who's older, but whatever. And she went on to say how people who are on social media too much are seeing other people live their lives. They have a great house, they have a great car, they have better or more things than the person who's watching the social media. And so people get depressed and they don't appreciate the things that they have. Okay, I don't know exactly how she phrased it, but it was roughly like that, okay? Obviously, she's very wrong, okay? Now, yes, this was a study conducted back in, I don't know, it was like 10, 15 years ago, something like that. And the study was based on little girls and their depression and anxiety and all that stuff. And it had to do a lot with social media, a lot to do with Instagram, because at the time that was the big thing. You had influencers who had the perfect body, they had the perfect hair, the perfect lips, the perfect lifestyle. Every morning I like to wake up and I do a little yoga. And yeah, these girls who were probably in high school, maybe less, I don't know, saw these lives of these perfect life-looking influencers who obviously faked it, by the way, and were like, why is my life sucking so bad compared to this person? Yeah, there was a lot of stress at the time. But, things have changed. Sure, there are still influencers like that, but it's, at least as far as I've seen, it's pretty rare to find those influencers. And when you do, there's plenty of other influencers who are in the same boat as you and me. Poor, crappy job, crappy apartment. Actually, my apartment's not too bad. I've definitely had worse. I mean, it's not great. It's got its issues, but I've definitely had worse. But you get my point, okay? You're seeing a lot of influencers who are fun to watch, fun to listen to, or interesting to listen to, and they're in the same boat as you and me. Things have changed. And that's one thing Oprah probably doesn't know about because she's probably not on social media very much because obviously she thinks social media is the enemy. I haven't even heard anything from Oprah in a very long time. Obviously, she had her show. I watched maybe an episode, and I haven't heard from her since until the whole Maui thing where her and Dwayne were trying to get people to donate money who can barely pay rent. That's why people are depressed, by the way. I meant to include that sooner in the video. That's why people are depressed. Groceries are up. Everything is up. $5 or more for a bag of chips. If you want 5 bags of chips, that's $25. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for the average person. And then we have a hard time paying rent. There are times where we're just like, all right, well, I got ramen to last me for a little while, so at least I'm making rent. And more people, I've been meeting a lot of people that are like, yeah, my landlord is actually very understanding, even though they're the ones that drove the price up. They're like, yeah, if you can't pay the rent right now, just wait until next paycheck, but I need it paid by then. Times are tough. And you've been seeing a lot of news influencers lately on TikTok, because I follow a lot of them, saying, if you're poor, you're about to get even more poor because prices are going up and your pay is not. That's why people are depressed, Oprah. We have a hard time affording groceries. We don't go to places like fast food anymore. At least I don't, because I can't afford it. And people can barely pay rent. And you have multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar people asking for donations when they're not donating anything. Okay, I'm done with my rant now. I just got home from work. I had to let off a little steam.